This is Inside Mside, your favorite podcast for all things Morningside. Hear stories from students, alumni, faculty, and more about what makes the Morningside experience so special.
Hello and welcome in to the 2026-2027 edition of the Inside Mside podcast here on the Morningside YouTube channel or wherever you're getting your podcasts from your favorite podcasting platform. I'm Zach James. Welcome into the new school year. We've got lots of podcasts and stories lined up for you for this fall semester, and we're ready to tell those for you. We're going to start things off with Fall Sports Media Day that we had last week, and we featured the football team, the women's volleyball squad, the men's soccer, women's soccer, men's cross country, and women's cross country teams. Let's start things off with the football program, as they had another successful run last year. They made it to the national tournament and had a 9-3 season. They were the Great Plains Athletic Conference co-champions, and they're aimed to do big things here in 2026. They opened the season on August 29th at home against Benedictine. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff. There's a lot going on that night. There's a President's Tailgate before the game, so come on out, have some burgers and hot dogs, converse with some of your favorite fans and alumni, and have a chance to say hello to President Chad Benson as well. We're also going to stream things on the GPAC network. We're partners with the Urban Edge Network this year, and we're going to stream varsity games on the Morningside Athletics YouTube channel, which we'll link down below, and we'll probably collaborate with the Athletics channel as well. Let's get things started with the football program. We heard from head coach Steve Ryan, who has been here since 2001. We also heard from Cade Harriman and senior wide receiver Drew Sellen.
I like my team. I'm excited about the way they're working and the approach they're taking to practice and the things they're accomplishing, what they were able to do and accomplish throughout the summer. And so I think we're off to an outstanding start, and looking forward to how things kind of carry out. I think the biggest thing is you need a great summer. Like, your guys need to have a sense of urgency in the summer. They need to have a sense of urgency as you're going through fall camp that, hey, every practice matters. We got to be ready to go. So I think if you can handle a tough start, it really is a positive for you down the road, because you've probably had a really good fall camp and your guys have really grown and continue to grow each week. We always set big goals, and our theme that our seniors have kind of put out is they call it aim down sight, and that idea of, hey, you have this big goal, but now let's just focus in the moment. Let's win today and really tighten down our view. And I think our seniors have done a great job of selling that message.
Oh, yeah, I would say it's definitely really similar to what Coach said. Obviously, we set really big goals at the beginning of the year. We want to win a national championship, win the GPAC, all those things. But you can't really worry about that right now. You got to worry about, the moment you're in. What can you control right now, today, to get better? That's going to lead you to that goal eventually. So I think it's, kind of breaking it down and just taking it day at a time instead of, necessarily always just looking at this big thing far off. Is really breaking it down. What can you do today to, get better and make sure when we do come around to November, December, we're where we want to be?
Yeah, I think honestly, being an old guy like me and Cade are, it's kind of our obligation to share our knowledge to the young guys in the program, and that's what a leader does. We want to leave here at the end of the season with the program in good hands, and I think a lot of us in this experienced wide receiver room have a lot of knowledge to share to these young guys like Cade and Lester and a bunch of those other names. So
the Mustangs had their first 3 games at home against Benedictine, Northwestern, which that's also a night game coming up on the September 5th, and against Dome, which is a regular 1 o'clock kickoff in GPAC play. For the full football schedule, and everybody else's for that matter, head to msidemustangs.com. Let's shift focus now to the women's volleyball squad, and they're already off to a fast start on the season. We're taping this on the Saturday before, and they're off to a 2-0 start as they started their season playing in West Palm Beach, Florida in the Kaiser Summer Classic. They will be home on Thursday, August 20th against Corbin. This is a nice reminder to tell you that head to msidemustangs.com/tickets to get your tickets. All tickets will be digitalized this year to get your season passes, season tickets, things like that. If you have any questions, we'll have a poster put out on social media this week. Just head to the Inside Mustangs social media pages to find a little bit more. Or if you're a Mustang Standard subscriber, it was also in your inbox last week. Make sure to subscribe to Mustang Standard as a nice little reminder there as well. The Mustangs volleyball squad went 14-14 last fall. Just had a disappointing season, but but there's a lot more optimism, a lot more fun, and a lot more focus with the Mustangs. Here's head coach Jessica Squire.
Everybody's competing really well during practices right now, which is making my job more difficult, which I want. We want that. We don't necessarily want people caving in and giving into each other necessarily. So, consistently making my job hard is what I, ask the girls to do on a day in and day out when it comes to practices. I think the girls are doing a really good job. We're working through a lot right now. People are playing in not necessarily a couple different positions, but just a little bit more uncomfortable. And so they've got to work through trusting themselves. And then eventually, once they trust themselves, everybody else will trust them too.
This year, I think that we've found that kind of cohesiveness of how to play as a team, how to work with each other. We've talked a lot about our different personalities and our strengths and our weaknesses and how we can use that to our advantage. And I think that's helped us a lot.
Let's head outside now and talk about the men's and women's soccer programs. Head coach Tom Maxson, who's also been here since 2001, just like Coach Ryan, is back at the helm with Jackie Martinez helping out on the women's side as well. And both teams had pretty good seasons. The men lost in the GPAC championship match to Concordia, while the women made it to the NAIA tournament and unfortunately lost a really tough double overtime loss to Southern Oregon. So both teams had really successful years last year, and they're aiming for another one here in 2026. Here's Coach Maxson.
I guess for this coming year, what I'm most looking for from this group is who's going to step up and be those competitors for us. We have a really decent core returning with a couple of first-team all-conference players, a good leadership group on the women's side, really together team. We had a really great, last year was kind of our first year on either team where we were looking into the transfer portal a little bit. We got some transfers last year that's really not traditional for us. We're mostly bringing freshmen in every year, but that group of transfers last year is now going to be seniors, and they're very solid. They've been competing every day at practice and leading by example, and really bought in a really great group with more confidence than a normal freshman would have. So we're going to bear that fruit, I think, and then this incoming class is not only talented freshman-wise, but also another group of transfers that bring in college experience and team experience and knows what a preseason is all about and knows what a season is all about. So I think we could repeat the things that we did last year, but we would have to wait and see a couple of games. We start off, I know you mentioned this to the football program. Traditionally, they play one solid game like a Benedictine, and then they've got a couple of, the bottom end of the GPAC or something, and might end with Northwestern every year. We go out in our 6 or 7 non-conference games and try to find the best competition possible.
From a women's soccer standpoint, you're going to hear from Tuva Hammerlund, and from a men's standpoint, here's Tony Spina.
Last year was kind of when I actually took my biggest step to become the player I am now, because I was just ready. I felt like we had a good group, so that year went really good. So this year, I had to think a lot about this summer. What can I do different? How can I be even better? But I think with the new freshmen coming in, I see a lot of potential, and I'm just ready to win again.
I tried to help the team. Before that, I was only thinking about me as a player. Now I understood that as a player and as a leader, I need to help the team to win. So it helped me to change that mentality. Instead of being more central to me, be more about the teammates, the team, and see how can I help them to improve. It's amazing. The culture here is amazing. I think even when you leave Sioux City, you create great friendships with a lot of different people, and after the college, you're still visiting them, you're still talking to them, and it's just amazing to be here.
Let's round out our podcast here by talking about the men's and women's cross-country programs. Granted, they don't have a home meet this fall. They are close to Sioux City, though. They're going to run on homecoming morning, October 3rd, at the Adams Nature Preserve in North Sioux City, and then they'll run a couple of times up at Dort as well. They start the season, as they always do, at the Augie Twilight Meet, so Sioux Falls isn't too far away to catch them as well. For the full schedule, again, head to MsideMustangs.com. The women's squad made it to the national tournament, to the national meet for the first time as a team in quite a while, and they have a lot coming back to that team. Here's distance coach Garrett Ehlers talking about his excitement for both the men's and women's squads.
I think we have a lot of girls who they got a good taste of what they are capable of, and they are eager to get back. I think sometimes when you reach a really big goal, it can be like a sigh of relief of like, okay, the job's done now, and our girls are ready to work and continue to go after really big things. So we've maintained our ability to, we lost our 1 and our 6 last year. We have a very, very strong top group right now that I think is going to surprise some people. And then you just continue to bring in some good freshmen and to continue to develop the sophomores and juniors that you have to do big things. And we saw women take 3 minutes off a 5K in 1 year, so it helps to inspire those that are coming in that maybe didn't have a glamorous high school career, that like, well, if they can do it, I know that I can. And our girls are very dedicated in doing the small things, embracing the suffering and all the things that they don't want to do, and dreaming big to push each other towards big things. So
in outdoor, I was already looking ahead to this cross-country season. I mean, I'm the type to get like antsy, so even after that outdoor 5K performance, when seeing Steffi ahead of me get her all-conference, I was like, okay, Steffi, are you ready for cross-country now? I was a little ahead of the game, but yeah, I just really like using momentum and seeing how my teammates do and watching them get their goals, because I know as a team we can accomplish great things together. Yeah, we really talk about mental toughness a lot, and one of the things we discuss is our toolbox and things we can use in our toolbox, and not just for running, but outside of running. And one of those things is like a mantra, and it's just something that you repeat to yourself and stick by, and like riding the waves, because there's highs and lows, and not just running, but also life. So just kind of like going back to that, and then you also have a team to lean on, and they understand like what you're going through and everything. And the freshmen, we've already bonded pretty well with them, and our team just clicked well. And we kind of been texting over the summer, just checking in on everyone. So I am really excited to have everyone back, and I think they just hold each other accountable to the goals we want to achieve.
It's definitely a different team, because like a lot of the seniors we graduated I lived with last year, so I'm just trying to get to know new faces, just new people. It's a lot of growing to start, growing those bonds. With just the pack, like everyone wants to be the best, so if I can get them to try to compete between themselves, if they compete with themselves, that'll make it easier to compete against other people. It's competing every day in practice just makes it that much easier to compete at meets.
Again, to see the men's and women's cross-country schedules, head to MsideMustangs.com. While you're there, check out all the other sports that we have here at Morningside University and to check them out. All the schedules are up through Christmas as well. So if you're planning on coming to Morningside to watch any of our teams here this semester, the schedules are there for you to look at. And the crossover fall-winter season isn't too far away. Follow us on social media as well. We have a Facebook page. We're on X. We're on Threads. Mside Mustangs is the handle for all three. So find us there and follow us and keep up to date with Morningside Athletics. That'll do it for this edition of the opening of the inaugural episode of the 2026-2027 Mside series. We've got a lot of good topics for you coming up this semester. The next 2 times you'll see me on camera will be later on in October, as we'll talk to 2 women's basketball alums as we recognize Breast Cancer Awareness Month and their journeys through breast cancer. It's a really touching story, and that'll be up in the October Mustang Standard as well. Make sure to subscribe to that one more time. And then also, I will be back on camera for Winter Sports Media Day, as we'll have that in mid-October, and we'll have that episode in late October. But Allison Struck and Alex Waters will be featuring a lot of other good things happening here at Morningside University. If you want to take a visit or find out more about this university, head to morningside.edu. For everybody here in the University Engagement Program and for Sports Information Director Nick Booth, I'm Zach James saying, hey, let's go. It's the school year. It's a new school year. Get fired up, get ready to go, and let's go Mustangs. You've been listening to the Inside Mside podcast here on the YouTube channels and on your favorite audio platform. Have a great school year.